Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nirisha Sriramaju, one of the trainer in Sankyana Consultancy Services. Today, we would like to discuss about the topic original and standardized results of based on SDTF. So, let's discuss about today's agenda. So, here we are going to discuss about the results based upon the test not done variable, and also we are all discussing about how we are going to link based upon multiple observations, how we can link multiple observations as well, and also about the text strings based upon the general observation class domain variables. And apart from this, we are also going to discuss about evaluators in interventions and events domain, or interventions and events class. So let's start with original and standardized results. So your original results variable contain the result of the measurement or finding as originally received or as collected. Whether your original results is an expected variable and should always be populated with two exceptions. One is based upon the variable stat, whether it is not done or done, and also original results should generally not be populated for derived records. So derived records are flagged with the derived variable flag variable. When the derived record comes from more than one visit, the sponsor must define the value for the visit num. So addressing the correct temporal sequence. If a new record is derived for a dataset and the source is not ETT, then that new record should be flagged as derived. Say for example, in ECG data, if your QTC intervals are derived in-house by the sponsor, then the derived flag is said to be yes. Why? So if the QTC intervals are received from a vendor, the derived flag is not populated. So when original results is populated, standard results character must also be populated regardless of whether the data values are character or numeric. So the variable standard results character is derived either by the conversion of values in original results to values with standard units, or by the assignment of a value of original results as per in your PE domain, whereas your standard results character should contain a dictionary derived term. So a further step is necessary when standard results character contains numeric values. So these are converted to numeric type and returned to your standard results numeric. So because the character may contain a mixture of numeric as well as character values, whereas your numeric, that is your standard results numeric, may contain null values based upon the chart what we have presented over here. So when your original measurement or finding is a selection from your defined code list, in general the original results as well as your standard results character variables contain results in decoded format, that is the textual interpretation of whichever code was selected from the code list. So in some cases where the code values in the code list are statistically meaningful standardized values or scores, so which are definitely by defined by your sponsors or by valid methodologies such as SF36 questionnaires. So the original results variables will contain the decoded format, whereas your standard results character variables as well as your numeric variables will contain the standardized values or scores. So occasionally your data that are intended to be numeric are collected with characters attached. So that causes the conversion from character to numeric data type, which may fail sometimes. Say for example, your numeric cell is going to count in the source data, may be specified with a greater than or less than sign attached. So in these cases, the value with a greater than or less than sign attached should be moved to the standard results character variable, whereas your standard results numeric should be null. So the rules for modifying the value for analysis purposes should be defined in the analysis plan and only changed in your ADAM datasets. So if the value in your standard results character has a different units, say for example greater than or less than sign, should be maintained. So let's not discuss about the tests based upon not done. So when an entire examination based upon your laboratory draw or your ECG, vital signs, physical examination, so this entire examination or a group of tests, it might be related to hematology or urine analysis. So or an individual test may be something like glucose, PR interval, blood pressure or hearing. So it is not done, and this information is explicitly captured on the CRF with a yes or no or done or not done question. So this information should be presented in the data set. The reason for the missing information may or may not have been collected. A sponsor has two options. One is to submit individual records for each test not done, or to submit one record for a group of tests which were not done. So here we have an example. If your data on the CRF is missing and yes or no or done or not done was not explicitly captured, a record should not be created to indicate that the data was not collected. So if a group of tests were not done, so the test code should be all, where test should be name of the module and category should be name of group of tests, original result should be null, and your stat should be not done. Reason for not done, if collected, might be specimen lost. So here we have an example based on this, and whereas for laboratory test the test code should be LB on and the LB test should be labs data, whereas the category should be urine analysis and the original results should be null, whereas the statistics should be not done, and the reason for not done might be subject could not be void. So we will also see some more examples based upon original and standard units and test not done. So here we have some examples based upon findings results variables and are not meant as comprehensive domain examples. So certain required and expected variables are omitted, and the samples may represent or present data for more than one subject. So numeric values based upon your VS test code, that is vital signs. When comparing to your vital signs, we are going to see the numeric values based upon whether they have converted or not. And if a result is missing because the vital sign test was not done, which is reflected in your stat VS stat variable, neither original results nor your standard results character is populated there. And apart from that, the result is derived by having multiple records for one measurement, whereas the derived value is recorded in a new row with a derived recorded flag, and the entire examination was not performed or not done. We can also observe based upon the questionnaires example. Here we have a standard instrument for which no subjectivity is involved in representing the original result as a numerical value. So in row 1, 5 and 6, a character value has been converted to a standard score for row 1, 5 and 6, that is for QS1, QSP10 as well as QSP11. And for row number 2, a result is derived from multiple records. So the records for the original collected results are not shown in this particular example. Whereas for row 3, if we consider, a result is missing because observation was not done. As reflected in your QStat variable, neither original results nor your standard results character is populated. And based upon row number 4, we have QS all. The entire questionnaire was not done. Coming to row number 7, that is QSP SUM, it is going to define us when a summary score is derived from the data from row number 5 as well as 6, and your original results should not be populated because the character values cannot be added to a meaningful result based upon the sum. And let's also discuss how we can link multiple observations. So text strings which are going to exceed the maximum length for general observation class, that is where we are going to see here how it is going to represent in the relationships as well as the data in your rel records domains for the guidance on expressing how your relationships among multiple observations are being derived and got. Now let's also see about the text strings based upon the general observation class domain variables. If your test name which is greater than 40 characters, sponsors may have test descriptions, that is test variable, longer than 40 characters in their operational database. Since your test variable is meant to serve as a label for a test code, when a findings dataset is transposed to a more horizontal format, the length of your test is normally limited to 40 characters. So we can conform to the limitation of your SAS v5 transport format, which is what we are currently using for submission purpose of your datasets. Therefore, sponsors have the choice to either insert the description for these variables or your first 40 characters or a text string abbreviated to 40 characters in your test. So sponsors should include the full description for these variables in the study metadata either of the two ways. That is, if your annotated CRF contains full text, provide a link to the annotated CRF page containing the full test description in your define.xml origin column for test. If your annotated CRF does not specify the full text, then create a PDF document so that you can store full text descriptions in the define.xml comments column for test, so that you can insert a link to full test description in the PDF. And how to convert your qualifier value label, that is Q label, in your supplemental qualifier datasets, or even your inclusion exclusion test values based upon inclusion criteria, are exceptions for the above 40 character rule, and these are limited to 200 characters since they are not expected to be transposed to a column labels. Values of your IE test that exceed 200 characters should be described in your study metadata as per convention. That is what we have seen previously. So now let us also discuss about the text strings which are more than 200 characters in other variables. Some sponsors may collect data values longer than 200 characters for some variables because of your current requirement for version 5 of your SAS transport file format. So it will not be possible to store those long text strings using only one variable. So therefore your SDTM IG has defined a convention for storing a long text string by using a combination of your standard domain dataset and the supplemental qualifiers datasets. So these are going to apply to all domains based on a general observation class. Here we can also note that comments domain is also there. So it is not based upon your general observation class. It is going to follow certain different rules based upon the information on handling comment text which is more than 200 characters long. So the first 200 characters of your text should be stored in your standard domain variable, and each additional 200 characters of text should be stored as a record in your supplemental data set. So in this data set, your Q name should contain a sequential variable name which is formed by appending one digit integer beginning with 1 to the original standard domain variable name. So when splitting a text string into several records, the text should be in split between words to improve readability also. As an example, here we are going to discuss about your medical history reported term, that is your MH term, which is of 500 characters in length. So the sponsor would put the first 200 characters of the text in the standard domain variable and data set MH term in MH, that is the next 200 characters of text as a first supplemental record in the subdomain of your MH dataset, and the final 100 characters of text as a second record in the supplemental MH dataset. So variable QNAM would have the values of MH term 1 and MH term 2 for those records in your supplemental domain of medical history dataset. So you can relate the associated supplemental text records based upon the parent record containing the first 200 characters of text in the standard domain. So whereas in other cases, that is standard domain variable name is already 8 characters in length, but sponsor should replace the last characters with a digit when creating values for QNAM. Say in other action taken in AE domain, that is your adverse events. Values for QNAM for your supplemental AE records would have the values like AE action taken 1, taken 2, and so on. So, evaluators are also being observed based upon the exceptions to be followed for your comments as well as your trial summary data set. And now let's also discuss based upon the evaluators in interventions as well as events observation class. So your observations recorded in the findings class will be included in your eval qualifier, because observation may originate from more than one source, maybe an investigator or central reviewer. So for the interventions and events observation class which do not include eval variable, all data are assumed to be attributed to the principal investigator. So the QEval variable can be used to describe the evaluator for any data item in the supplemental data set. So, but it is not required when the data is objective. For observations that are primary and supplemental evaluations of specific qualifier variables, sponsors should put data from the primary evaluation into the standard domain dataset and data from the supplemental evaluation into the supplemental qualifier datasets. So in cases where the standard domain variable name is already 8 characters in length, sponsors should replace the last character with a 1, which is incremented for each additional attribution. So there are certain examples for your AE domain. So here we can note that the QNAM takes on the value AE relationship S1, right, as a corresponding standard domain variable. AE relation ST is already 8 characters in length. So the adverse event data is determined by the primary investigator would reside in the standard AE dataset. And also let's discuss about the significance. So for assessments of your clinical significance, when overall interpretation, which is a record of your domain, say for example we are using supplemental qualifier record that is based upon QNAM variable, so which is being linked to the record which contains the overall interpretation, or it can be based upon the individual relationship records. So whenever we have multiple values, we are going to include based upon either the sponsor uh, derived variables or from the copying of your dataset values. So we have also seen that how your variables or values being there if there are more than the limited text strings, that is either greater than 40 characters or greater than 200 characters, greater than 40 characters, and also greater than 400 characters. So we are deriving them or making them into subdomains. So based on that, we are going to create in the supplemental domains different variables where we are going to specify what that particular value is in the characters or the text strings. And if your annotated CRF contains full text, we are going to provide the link based upon the annotated CRF page which contains the full text. And whenever we are going to separate from clinical significance results, that is either normal or abnormal, your laboratory values which are out of range, that is whenever we perform EG test code, the addresses the ECG as whole which should have a result or of normal or an abnormal. So when a record for EG test code is INTP may also have the record in supplemental domain, that is sub EG, indicating whether the result is clinically significant or not. And even if a record for a vital signs measurement, maybe for example we can take as systolic blood pressure or hematocrit, so that contains a measurement which may have normal range and a normal range indicator. So it could also have a sub record indicating whether the result was clinically significant or not. And also the SDTM general observation classes will include the reason why not done the test. So variable like REASND variable, which is what we are going to submit the reason based upon why it is not collected. However, sponsors sometimes collect the reason that something was done. For interventions general class observations, INDC and ADJ are available to indicate reason for the intervention or for the dose adjustment. For your findings general observation class, if the sponsor collects the reason for performing a test or examination, it should be definitely being placed in the supplementary data set. And the standard supplementary domain, that is the QNAM value and the reason, should be used in the data set. So if interventions and events can generally be collected in two different ways, that is by recording either verbatim free text or the sponsors to be pre-specified list of treatments or terms. Since the method what we are going to use for collecting or solicitation of the information on treatments and the terms may affect the frequency at which they are reported. So whether they were pre-specified may be of interest to the reviewers. So it is all dependent on the reviewers that your prescribed variable is used to indicate whether a specific intervention, that is TRT, or event, that is comes under when it comes to intervention we take the treatment, or when it comes to the event we take the term. So variable has the control terminology of y, that is we specify yes or a null value. So it is a permissible variable and should only be used when the topic variable values come from a pre-specified list. Questions such as whether did the subject have any concomitant medications or did the subject have any medical history should not have records in your SDTM domain, because there are no valid values for the respective topic variables in the treatment, that is concomitant treatment or your MH based upon interventions as well as events classifications. And also we need to identify the records whose sole purpose is to indicate whether or not a subject has records are not meaningful. So the occurrence variable is used to indicate whether a pre-specified intervention or event occurred or did not occur. So it has control terminology of yes and n. So it is permissible variable and may be omitted from the data set if there is no topic variable which values were pre-specified. So based upon the study, we are going to collect both pre-specified interventions and events general observation class as well as free text events and interventions. So the value of the occurrence should be y or n for all pre-specified interventions and events, and null for those reported as free text. So your stat and recent not done variables can be used to provide information about pre-specified interventions and events for which there is no response, maybe for investigator forgot to ask. So as in findings, we can say that your stat column has control terminology of not done. So coming to your long-term follow-up, whereas the studies often include long-term follow-up assessments so that we can monitor a subject's condition. So examples can include studies in terminally ill populations that periodically assess survival, and studies including chronic disease. So it may be also including based upon the assess relapse. So long term follow up is often conducted via telephone calls rather than clinical visits. So it may be regardless of the method of contact, the information should be stored in the appropriate topic based domain. And overall study conclusion in the disposition domain occurs once all contact with the subject ceases. So if a study has a clinical treatment phase followed by a long-term follow-up phase, these two segments of the study can be represented as separate epochs within the overall study. So each with its own epoch disposition record. So the recommended SDTM approach to store these data can be described based upon uh, an oncology study. So it is going to encompass 2 months of clinical treatment as well as assessments, followed by once monthly telephonic contacts. So the contacts continue until the subject dies. So during the telephone contact, the investigator collects information on the subject's survival status and the medication use. So the answers to certain questions may trigger other data collections. So in this example, if the subject's survival status is dead, then this indicates that the subject has ceased participating in the study. So a study discontinuation record would need to be created. So in SDTM, the data related to these follow-up telephone contacts should be stored. Either it can be concomitant medications reported during the contact should be stored in CM domain. The subject's survival status should be stored in subject status domain, that is SS domain, and the disposition of the subject at the time of the final follow-up contact should be stored in the disposition TS domain. So here we have to note one thing, that overall study conclusion, it is going to be the point where any contact with the subject ceases, which in this example is also the conclusion of the long-term follow-up also. So disposition of the subject at the conclusion of the 2 month clinical treatment phase would be stored in DS disposition as a conclusion to that of the epoch. So long-term follow-up would be represented as a separate epoch. So therefore in this example we have that the subject would have 3 disposition records in DS domain. So with both the follow-up epoch disposition and the overall study conclusion disposition being collected as a final telephone contact. So if the subject's survival status is dead, the demographics variables DTH, DTC and DTH flag must be appropriately populated. So in the long-term follow-up phase would be represented in trial arms, trial elements and trial visits. The contacts would be recorded in subject visits and subject elements, consistent with the way they are represented in the trial visits as well as trial elements. So with this I'll conclude today's topic, and thank you one and all for your valuable